He most certainly is our USP. We all know this game's not going to be easy. We all know this game tonight is not going to be easy. Traveling to the team in Europe that have been undefeated in all competitions. But it doesn't matter because you've got to remove that from the equation and just concentrate on what is in front of you. And what is in front of us is a quarter final for the third consecutive season in Europe. Twice in the Europa League, once in Europa Conference League. What an opportunity for West Ham to progress and keep putting our name on that map. It doesn't matter the opposition. You enter these competitions for these occasions. These are the occasions why we here as fans get so excited year in and year out to qualify for Europe. What dreams are made of. And having Bayer Leverkusen, and in Germany with some injury problems, hey ho, on paper, it doesn't look good. But we all know sometimes these scripted stories don't work that way. We all know that they take ups and downs like roller coasters as being a West Ham fan. We do have a couple of things in our favor. We really do. A couple of things in our favor is we have some really quality players. We have Paquetá and Kudus, albeit they didn't play well against Wolves, but we have them in our firing line. We know what they're capable of on their day. They trap back, they work hard defensively, and they will give us an option going forward. But there's one player I'm wanting to talk to you about in particular, and that is Mickey Antonio, 34-year-old Mickey Antonio, who will probably be leading the line this evening for West Ham against Bayer Leverkusen in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. He is our USP. He is our unique selling point for this game in particular. Why? Because I don't think any of these clubs in the Europa League have come up against a striker such as Mickey Antonio. No one like him. There really isn't anyone necessarily like him. He's so awkward. He can be so penetrative. He can be extremely vital to a team, to West Ham, to our potential progression of this competition. At the start of the season, if you'd have said to me we'd still become reliant on Antonio, I would have actually laughed at you quite strongly. But we are, and it is what it is, and it is where we're at. And he has performed really well since he's come back from injury. He's really causing defensive problems. Yes, we're putting a lot of reliability on him, but we've got players that can create, players that can penetrate, and players that can put the ball in front of him. But he is going to have a physical battle with their defense. Jonathan Tah, player West Ham have been looking at to potentially bring to the Premier League for such a long time. And it's going to be a big battle. Of course, it's going to be a midfield battle. Of course, it's going to be a defensive battle. Of course, it's going to be a forward battle. We know they don't necessarily concede a lot of goals, but we have Antonio, who is that awkward style of player. They don't tend to see players like that every single day. And I think Bayer Leverkusen may struggle with an Antonio type player. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to be strong. He's going to do his hold up play. And if he does that, and if we have an Antonio working to the highest level he possibly can, holding up the play to the possibility that he's going to need to, because we're going to lack that Jared Bowen effect. And depending on what team we put out, we're going to rely on his hold-up play. We're going to rely on his wing play, his work rate down the sides, supporting his team all over the park. We're going to run him into the ground, but that is just what you've got to do in a quarterfinals. I've got the bug on, but he is our USP. He is our unique selling point. He is your player that that no matter the homework that Bayer Leverkusen do, they don't know what's going to turn up because he's so unpredictable, even for himself. You just look at the opportunity he had at Newcastle where he went 1-on-1 with the keeper and he scored the goal, then compared to the opportunity he had against Tottenham where he went 1-on-1 with the keeper and he didn't score the goal. You don't know what player's going to turn up, and that's the uniqueness of our Mickey Antonio up front. Listen, just get behind the team. I'm buzzing. Let's hope we can at least stay in this tie to bring Bayer Leverkusen back to the London Stadium under the lights next Thursday, where we know the fans will get on their backs. Let's hope we can stay in this tie. Let's hope we can do something, because I am buzzing. We're in a quarter-final of the Europa League. Let that sink in. Quarter-final of the Europa League. Let's get behind the team. Come on, you wonderful Irons.